I think, yeah, the IPL was a great tournament, but in cricket, especially when you're playing on the international stage, you always have to repeat your performances on a constant basis. So it's definitely not an easy place to play cricket. You're never in your comfort zone, um, especially when when things are not going as smooth as you'd like them to. Sometimes you hit a purple patch, but most of the other time you're just literally scrapping. So playing against England, I've played against them quite a few times, and it's never easy. But it doesn't change the fact that whoever you play, every game you have to come back and you have to do the same thing. So that's something that us as cricketers know that we have to to do. I wouldn't say it's overwhelming, playing in a series like this. Definitely, you do give them a lot of respect, just like you would any international side. But cricket is a repetitive game, and you have to repeat that in every game that you play. So I guess that's the challenge at the end of the day, is to see how well you can do it, and that's why we play. We play to win as well, and to test ourselves individually. Well, I can only speak for myself. I think at the IPL, the competitiveness was second to none. You have the world's best players fighting for the top spot, so the competitiveness is going to be really up there. And you saw just by the results and by how tight that competition was. So I felt, the crowd. Without the crowd, I mean, the competitiveness was there, but the crowd obviously gives that extra bit of adrenaline and that extra bit of, drama, if you want to put it that way, or theater. So definitely there is an element missing without the crowd. But we, at the end of the day, we're cricketers, competitive cricketers who want to compete. Ultimately want to compete against other players to test your skill level. And I think it'll be much of the same this series, but I can only speak for myself. And also getting into the bubbles, yeah, it can be quite tough. You can't, interact. You've basically lost your freedom. It's almost like luxury prisons that we're in. But at the end of the day, you just have to remind yourself that we are fortunate. Not many people right now, or people right now, have lost their jobs. People are struggling at the moment. So I just try to remind myself that, we must be grateful for the opportunity that has been given to us. First of all, to earn some money, and second of all, to do what we love. Um, and we don't get treated too badly. I mean, we stay in great hotels, we get the best foods. It's just it's like a spoiled kid, not getting what they want at the candy store. But at the same time, it can be quite tough, because you're just you're just surrounded by four walls most of the time, and that can play a factor mentally. Um, but like I said, just reminding yourself um, of all the good things that are happening, and yeah, that should get us through. But we're here to play cricket in that same vein. So the cricket, once we start playing, I think it will take away from the I don't know, the desolate times. Look, I think the crowd definitely plays its role, um, a big role. They, yeah, first of all, we have our supporters, and they kind of add to the drama. But at the end of the day, when you're playing against, if I'm running into, I don't know, Joe Root or whoever, the last thing I'm thinking about is, it's a contest between me and him, if I can put it that way, just to use his name as an example. It is the competition. Maybe you guys don't understand what we players go through, but the competition is extremely high. There's a lot at stake to it, and it's not easy. And cricket is not a game that you just go to, and if you want to land the ball in a certain area, you can do it. Doesn't work like that. It's not like you wake up every morning and feel $1,000,000. So there's a lot of things that you have to fight through, and maybe that's what the public don't understand. Um, I'm not complaining, but I mean the crowd can get you going 100%, but at the end of the day, no one is really bowling the ball for you, and you're playing against some quality opposition. But with that being said, I mean, a Newlands crowd on the New Year's Test match, or a Pink Day crowd at the Wanderers, was just so electrifying. I mean, it's great, and especially when we're winning, it's wonderful to have the crowd there. When you go to PE, they get behind you. So we've got some really patriotic fans that we're definitely going to miss. Yeah, that's a tough question to answer. I'm not sure what it's down to, really. Obviously, I think the break helped just to refresh the body, to take the mind off of a lot of things. But I don't know if the long extended breaks are going to happen. So, well, in the future, because cricket is just getting more and more. So I think it's important, I guess, to find a way and to see the best ways to stay fresh and kind of take it in your stride. That's the only thing you can do. Yeah, I'm not sure how much of it is due to a long break. I would say quite a bit of it, yeah. But I don't know how it's going to go in the future. I don't think we're going to get breaks that long unless we get hit by, I don't know, COVID-20, then maybe it can work again, but let's hope not. Oh, I think that's an interesting question. It's definitely a lot more like superstardom hype. Most definitely, there's a lot of superstardom hype. The big media teams that are content creator teams that are behind all the teams. There's a huge following. You have all the biggest stars in the world that go to that tournament. So I guess, yeah, there's gonna be that, that superstardom type hype. A lot of meet and greets. You're meeting a lot of new players. I would say, yeah, international cricket is more serious, 100%. So I think you might be right. Although we do have fun in international cricket, you're with guys that you know, and there's certain jokes that we have in the team, but I definitely think it's much more serious, even though the IPL is quite serious. We come together as a team and we all have one objective. But I think you're right. The IPL has a bit more funness to it, without saying that there is no fun in international cricket. Of course there is, but I think it's held at a higher prestige, most definitely. I think it is important, especially if you have a platform, um, like you do in sports or as a sportsman. Spreading the right message is important. It doesn't mean that anyone should get out of their way to do it, but I guess if you would like to, then it's important. If you want to spread the right message, then it's important, or any particular message, you have the platform to do that. So there is huge responsibility in the things that you say and the things that you stand up for. I mean, obviously you've seen the roles that sportsmen had to play in all the political movements that were happening during the lockdown. Myself, I did express myself on Twitter. I expressed my opinions on there. I did that through some podcasts that we did. But otherwise, not getting into it too hectically and not writing essays about it, not writing doctorates about it. But at least I threw my 2 cents out. I think every department will be competing against one another. I guess that's just what it is, just to see if our bowlers are better than theirs, and their batters are better than us, etc., etc. I mean, that's in a team performance. That's what you would want. You match yourself against the other team's department. I'm saying this, from an outside perspective, but ultimately we're just focusing on ourselves, on whether we can do a certain job or not. It's not about us looking too much into how their bowlers bowl and us bettering that. I mean, there's always learning for that. Myself, particularly as a bowler, you're always learning. You always see what other bowlers are doing, not incorporating everything, but there's always something somewhere that's going to interest you. But it's our batter's job to worry too much about what their bowlers are doing, and we need to worry about their batters. So I don't think we're trying to have this clash of bowlers. I think naturally that happens, but intentionally that's not what we're trying to do. Yeah, of course, they're world-class fast bowlers, and you have to appreciate the skill that they bring. I mean, they've proven it. Joffre's proven it, and Mark Wood has proven it, and they're nice to watch. It's great to watch other fast bowlers doing well. Yeah, it's great. It's great to see them to bowl the way they bowl. It's cool. Fast bowlers club. Yeah, not particularly, no, because we've played against them quite a bit already, and like I said, cricket, you just have to repeat and repeat. It's almost as if your performances that you've played in the past are all gone now. They're all gone, and you have to play a new game. And not that they don't give you confidence, and they do give you an understanding of some of the patterns that your opposition show. However, it's a new game, it's a new day, and you have to come and try and perform in a match-winning performance, or produce rather a match-winning performance. It just never ends. I mean, England are a great example of that. But we've seen this game being dominated by all nations. Unfortunately, I mean, you have the West Indies dominated, then you had Australia dominated, and now sort of like India and England and Australia coming up again. So that just shows you the level of competitiveness. No one is a god of cricket, Definitely England are a good example of how someone can turn a team around. We did lose some very experienced players and top class players. We lost some greats of the game. And now we almost have to build up. The most experienced players are myself, Quinny, Fuff, and David Miller. And I'm only 25, and I'm one of the most experienced. So I mean, that's a challenge in itself. But building up is what we're trying to do. I think South Africa we have an identity. It's just about brushing it up. I don't think we have to really reinvent the wheel. We know what has worked for us in the past, and we're working with Mark. Mark has been involved in a very successful team, and we're constantly working on where we want to be and how we want to get there. It is a challenge for us, but we definitely do accept it. I've already expressed my views on that. I'll see if I want to express them again. It's something that needs to be constantly, I guess, it's a constant reminder, but I think I've spread my views on that for now. But look, I'm not definitely not playing the role of player/bowling coach, but whatever role that, I do definitely play a senior role. So if someone wants to ask a question, they can, and I'll be very happy to answer and to share my thoughts. But we've got Charles Langerfeld, who's brilliant. I really enjoy working with him, and I have no doubt that all the other bowlers will enjoy working with him, and actually do rather enjoy working with him. This is an exciting batch of fast bowlers coming up, so I'm really excited for the future. Right now, as Mark said, you wanted to rotate a couple of players, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing. And it's all about buying into the vision of the team. That's what it's about. It's not about individuals. It's all about us seeing where we want to go as a team, and the coach is going to drive that philosophy, and we have to trust the coach's philosophy, and that's what he wants to do, and we will buy into it. And I'm not too fussed about sitting on the sidelines, really, but I am ready to play. Yo, I had a practice 2 days ago, and I mean, like I said, you know, every series you play, there's always a fire burning. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're also human beings. You know, we don't rock up to practice like, yeah, I'm here, I'm ready to go. I'm gonna set the world alight. We're also human beings like everyone else. So sometimes you might be a bit lazy or whatever, but once you get into it, that's when the juices start flowing. So when we start playing, I mean, talking about it, you get amped. But I don't know. I'll speak for myself. I don't really get amped like every day that I wake up. No. But when you get into it, into the practice, into the game, then that's when you really have to, you know, wake up. But it depends on how I feel. You have to be a bit smarter now, because, you know, when I first got in, Zahir was talking about, you know, being amped. I just really wanted to play every single game when I first started, and not that that ambition is gone. I definitely have that ambition, but now it's just about being smart with it. You have to realize, you know, there's a long career ahead. There's a lot of volume of cricket. How can I stay fresh? And being fresh means that you're going to play close to your best too. So it's just about being smart with it, and it's just going to take some good communication between myself, the coach, and the fitness trainer, and the medical staff rather. So I definitely do have a say in it. I definitely do have a say in it. It's just about being smart with it, and it's just about me taking the advice of the medical staff, and the medical staff, I guess, hearing me out, and then that's how it's gonna work. Yeah, it's been quite bizarre actually. We have to train in groups now. There's a group of non-contacts and a group of close contacts. It doesn't mean that anyone is positive, but it just means you have to take that extra precaution. So that's how it's been. We're just waiting. There's going to be a test sometime soon, and we'll wait for those results to come back. But training is going smoothly. The guys are getting in the preparation that they need to, and that's the most important thing for now. And I think the team is doing well at you know, sticking to the strict rules that have been set in place at the moment. It definitely is challenging. It's really bizarre, but we're training well, and I think we're communicating quite well as a group. We basically just we spoke about it as a group, and there are lots of things to look at these days. To me, Black Lives Matters, and also now we're looking at gender-based violence. Black lives will always matter. All lives will always matter. But the situation now is Black Lives Matter. Yeah, Black Lives Matters, 100%, as something that I will always stand for, and I speak for myself. It was a team decision not to kneel, and I think is to look at gender-based violence, and to devote ourselves to another cause. However, Black Lives Matters will always be relevant, and something that I will always believe in, and yeah, I speak for myself there. But yeah, Mark has stated that the team will not be kneeling, and that's how it is going to be. Yeah, the foundation is coming up. It's actually been active. Been a lot of work being done outside of the spotlight, away from the spotlight, and it's basically nurturing talent, looking at the cream of the crop and trying to give them opportunities, in sports and also in academics, and also helping with product for them to product, and also facilities for them to ignite their potential. That's actually the slogan, ignite potential. But a lot of work that I'm going to be doing now with in a 5-year vision. So now it's really going to start kicking off. Stay tuned. Well, if I put it in my perspective, you have a guy. If you're bowling at a guy who's going to ramp or lap, then you just put a fielder there. You can either have another option to bowl, and if you're going to bowl the Yorker, then at least you have the protection there for if you get it marginally wrong. And the Yorker, if you do get it marginally wrong, then it can disappear. But if you do bowl a really good Yorker at the same time, you have a really high chance of getting a dot and also getting a wicket, especially if the batter wants to ramp. So it's a ball that is, it's a risk and reward ball, but when you do get it right, I mean, it's just a wonder to have up your skill set. So it's a ball that I depend on, and if it's not working, then I'll go to whatever else might potentially work. But it's a good ball to have, even though the batter's ramping or reverse lapping, whatever shot he's playing.